Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. I should stop it or do another take, but you know what? This is like take 9, so I just don't fucking care anymore. I keep slipping up in the beginning of this video. What we have here in front of me is the Brew Box company's Brew Box. What is the Brew Box company, do you ask? It is a direct-to-your-door a beer club, just like in the US, just like in Alberta, just like in other places of the world. It is a beer subscription club that delivers craft beers to your door to discover every month. We had talked about this on Beer Dweebs United a few weeks ago, and we talked about a few cons of beer subscription services, a few pros for beer subscription services, and also reasons we would or wouldn't be for the different beer subscription services. So what do you get? Right now you would get about 4 liters of craft beer mixed between at least 6 bottles and cans. There could be more, mattering what the sizes of these things are. And you will get the monthly renewing prices on this. The prices for this is a little steep if you were looking at the first 2 months worth of the Brew Box. This is month 3. I picked up 1. I did a single month order just to see what it was in it, and month 3 brings it up to a more reasonable reason to have that price, for just the sole factor that they're things that I couldn't get or can't easily access. So what do you get with the Brew Box? Pardon me for a second here. Let me bring my computer up here. You don't get to see my face while I'm doing this. I already talked to you about what you get in each of them. Now currently they just have one setting. They have the Discovery Brew Box, which is what this is. The features of the Discovery Brew Box, which is $55 a box plus tax, so it comes up to about $62, is 3 unique craft breweries in the pack. So there are 3 different craft breweries in here. Approximately 4 liters of craft beer per box. Again, good. Delivered right to your door. Okay, good. Monthly subscription, automatic renewal, shipping included. $62. So, I mean, you figure 6 to 8 beers, average craft beers, you're looking at about $24 to $40. So you're looking at paying about, mattering what's in the box, anywhere from $30 to $20 for shipping. That, for those of you that do beer mails, that is kind of normal shipping costs, plus a little bit overhead. Is it an expensive thing? Mattering what comes in the box, it's expensive. If it's good beer and all that, it isn't. This one, though, is, the next one is $75 a box, and it's the Custom Brew Box. Now, that one's more something that I would be interested in. I wouldn't be interested in $75 a month. I'm not trying to be rude to the company. I'm just speaking my mind here. And it is a hand selection of up to 8 craft beers to fill your box. Over 15 different breweries and over 15 different beers, delivered right to your door, monthly subscription, blah, 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 blah. And the reason that's great is because when you are at 2,500 beers reviewed, there's a good chance you're going to get stuff you've already had. So when you can select your own, that's great. Now the last one is $105 a box, and it's the Premium Brew Box. Now this one's a quarterly brew box, and what they're trying to do with this is get breweries to make exclusive beers for them, or sell them their barrel-aged stuff. So not saying that these would be the beers that would be in it, but stuff like Skeleton Key from Bellwoods, or Bring Out Your Dead, or Obsidian Porter from Cameron. Stuff like that is the type of stuff they're looking for this one. This one doesn't exist yet, but they're trying to get it going. Anyway, it is rare and exclusive beers, each beer ranging in price from $10 to $20, delivered right to your door, shipped out quarterly, automatic renewal, shipping included. So that one would be a $305 investment, where the other ones are a little more money because they are every month. So that is their packages. Let's just put my computer down here. So when I picked up this box, I was really curious as to what was in it. I don't have all the promotional information, promotional stuff you would get in it. It is missing a few things, but you'll get the gist of what you get from these. So first we have some coasters. I mean, everybody likes to collect coasters, especially beer geeks. We have some stickers. Again, I don't have all the promotional stuff, so I don't have everything from all the breweries. And I have tasting notes right here. I'm not big on tasting notes. Some people are, though, especially when you're learning about things. Tasting notes are great. So when I had talked about this I had only talked about it knowing what was in month one's box. And that box did not impress me. I'll be honest. It didn't impress me because there was a blonde ale. It was all actually really standard beers that weren't things that would blow me off my socks. And I had said in our Beer Dweebs United that the longer this goes, the more connections they'll have, the better beers they'll be able to get. And then just 3 months in, they got a box that I would actually be interested in. And this is the box. And what is in this box, do you ask? We have first Bohemian Pilsner from Junction. Does Bohemian Pilsner actually interest me? Not fully, but who cares? We have Night Train Dark Ale by Junction, which kind of intrigues me. Now you'll notice that Junction is like the featured brewery for this. We have Track Layers Kolsch. I've had Track Layers Kolsch, but I really like it. It's actually a Kolsch I enjoy. That and the Bose one are probably the only two I've had that I enjoy. Winter Warmer from Junction. So there's our 4 Junction beers. Then we have the Big Rig Wee Heavy. We have another Big Rig Wee Heavy. A Henry's Irish Red from Publican House. And another Henry's Irish Red from Publican House. So there we go. That's our... let me actually do this sort of like a marketing guy, eh? Let's sort of do this like we know what we're doing. There we go. So there's the beers you'd get in this pack. So actually at $55, this isn't a horrible pack for me. Why? These guys I could get. They're in Toronto. I could get them if I really, really wanted them. However, their hours are stupid. They're open 3 days a week with moronic hours that I can't actually fathom doing. These guys are up in Ottawa. If I was up in Ottawa, I could get them. Can't get them down here. 7-hour drive to Ottawa, a little much. Peterborough, a little further away from me as well. I could get them if I went to the brewery. But 7 hours away, little much for me. And really, of all this stuff, it's the Irish Red, which is this one, and the Pilsner and the Kolsch that don't fully interest me. The other 3 do, and I get a second bottle of this, so hopefully this is good, or I can send it to somebody else. But anyway, for $62, I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm getting 8 beers for $62. A little overpriced, yeah, but you figure it would be coming to your door. It would be delivered to you. You basically have to figure about $3 each. About $3 each. So right there is $18, and probably about $6 each for the big rigs. They're more expensive because of the big rig, first off, and second off because they're in Ottawa. And I'm just under-guessing here. I'm just guessing the low points I'm thinking they'd be at. So that brings us up to $40. So I'm paying him $15 plus tax to deliver them to me. For those of you that have done beer mails, about normal. Actually, it would be $30 plus the shipping. For those of you, again, that have done, so about $20, $25. For those of you that have done beer mails, you know that most beer mails would sit in the $15 to $30 range, mattering the size and everything else. So actually, not all that bad price rise when you're getting something like this. When you're getting 8 beers, 5 of them are different, and... oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are different. My math skills aren't going very well. I'm tired right now. You're getting 6 different beers plus 2 repeats, and it's not actually that bad of a pack. This one. The other 2 packs, I saw what last month's pack was, and I read what the month before's pack was. Neither of those really intrigued me. Neither those 2 would have actually made me angry for paying the money. If the pack keeps staying something like this, it's well worth the money. It's well worth the money. Now, here's the thing with this company, right? They actually were talking to me and to the other husband and to other people. They want to know feedback, both positive and good. So on this video, I want you guys to say some good and good feedback or negative feedback or ideas. One of my ideas to them, one of the things I pitched to them, and I know they can't. They do represent breweries that they're supposed to be marketing for, so they kind of have to do it. But one of the things I said to them is, if it's available in the LCBO, don't put it in the box. I know that some of those breweries that you're working with only make one beer or maybe two beers and they're both in the LCBO. I get that. But if it's available at the LCBO, if it's easily available, or I can get the LCBO to ship it to me or this or that, don't put it in the box. It just hurts the company itself. It hurts the view of the company to some people. Another thing I said, which is kind of what they're trying to do with their premium box, is try and find exclusive or rare beers. And with those in a box, you'll probably start getting some of the Toronto crowd as well, because, I mean, Toronto is filled with beer geeks, so is Ottawa, so is Barrie, so is London. Well, London to an extent. There are a lot of beer geeks around that would jump on something like that, especially quarterly. It's not all that bad. What do you guys think? What would be some advice you'd give to the company? As I said, this brew box I'm actually excited over. Again, there's 6 beers here. 5 of them I have to review, so I'm excited to have gotten this because I couldn't have gotten some of these beers. And at the price it's at, if this was delivered to my door, I would be happy with it. If it was one of the other 2 months delivered to my door, I wouldn't have been happy with it. So what should happen? Should they do doubles? First off, for me, I understand why the doubles are done. Do I want doubles? No. If this is a discovery pack, I know that people love that. Sometimes you have a beer that you love and you want to drink it again, but it's a discovery pack. You might hate it. What if I hate the Big Rig Wee Heavy? Now I have a second giant bottle of the Big Rig Wee Heavy. I don't really want that myself, so that would be something else I would do. If I'm doing 6 to 8 beers, I would do 6 to 8 singles. I know why they don't want to do that, because you will run out of beers. I mean, how many years can you stay together if you're doing, well, stay competitive and stay together if you're doing 6 to 8 beers that are all different every month? I understand the different quandaries that you're going to have. Maybe do instead of doing something like where they went 55 to 75, maybe do the 55 will have doubles, the 75 will have absolutely no doubles, or have a 55, a 65, and a 75, where the 55 will have doubles, the 65 will have absolutely no doubles, and the 75 is that you can pick whatever you want. That would actually be a kind of cool tier system to do, because then you have, again, okay, I'm getting up to 8 beers from 3 different breweries, and at least that means I'm having at least 3 different beers. And then you could have, well, I'm getting 8 different beers from at least 3 different breweries, but they're all going to be different, so I'm getting 8 different beers, and then you're getting, I can pick whatever the fuck I want. That would be a great little tier system to do, and then still have your jump up too if you really want to for the specialty guys. It would be an interesting thing. Again, actually, you know what? That's really what I'd say. You want to keep this at the price range you're at, and you want to have your different levels. Add in a 4th level that is just that. Add it in at the cost a little more, so you're not fighting as much to get things. Especially when you have some of these brewers, like, these guys make a fucking shitload of beer. Every day I'm looking at their site, and they have something new on there that they're getting. There are a lot of breweries that make a lot of different beer. Hell, Niagara College could get in there if you really wanted to, and they have different beer all the time. Some of them are good, some of them aren't. But I mean, that's going to happen with all craft breweries. So here, again, I'm slightly retracting my comment. This mail to your door thing still isn't fully for me until you can get picking your own. Once you could pick your own, it's kind of for me, but at $75, I don't think I personally would do it. Some people will, because they can't get to things, and I mean, if I could every month look at their list and go, oh shit, that's a nice list, I haven't had this, or this, I'm going to order one, then I'd probably jump into it if I didn't have to lock into a year subscription. And I mean, they are talking about doing that in the future, like giving you a 1-month thing, but it'll be a little more expensive. And I can understand that because they're not guaranteed your business again. So I understand that sort of thing. I think if they're going to do that, they really need to post their brochure, though, of their stock. I know they can't actually guarantee different stocks, but they should be able to say, this is the type of stuff we have to pick from. This is what we're going to have to pick from this month if you are a single month holder or the custom box holder. And then you can make up your mind that way. So for me, it would be a list of your beers for the custom guys, and possibly for the 1-monthers. A rule of, if it's at the LCBO, don't put it in the box. And or at least if it's at the LCBO, it has to be only in the area that brewery's in. Because there are some breweries that do that. They're at the LCBO or at the beer store, but they're not outside their region still, and that means you're still discovering something. And lastly, adding a fourth tier where you're just guaranteed no doubles. That would be my advice. Other than that, I don't really have any advice thus far. They seem like great guys. They seem like they care about beer. They have put a lot of thought into this. Again, the promotional stuff in there is stuff that you don't always get in all Canadian beer boxes. So that's awesome too. Once I broke down the price of this, it's about where you would normally find it. I mean, what's two growlers? Two growlers filled are usually between $10 and $30, mattering what you're filling them with. So I mean, that plus mailing, again, two growlers should be between $20 and $30 filled, which is still under 4 liters. So I mean, you're looking at between 20 and 30, and then you're adding another can or something on top. So I mean, price wise, yeah, it is a little more expensive than picking them up yourself, but mattering where they're coming from matters big time on this. And there are so many breweries in Ontario that as these guys keep growing, they should be able to get more and more breweries on board from far out places. If they can get like Whippersnipper and Kitchissippi and Lake of Lake in the Woods and stuff like that all on board, then you're getting some really interesting beers. Now, not all of them bottle or can. That's another problem with it. But this is stuff that as you move forward, you can work together. I mean, it's a great idea for Ontario. It's still young and in its infancy, and I'm glad that they are actually jumping so fast. Again, the first 2 months didn't interest me at all. This month did, and I'm glad I picked it up. What are your ideas, both good and bad, for this venture? Let's help them out as much as we can and let them know what the beer industry and beer buyers want. Thank you guys. Bye.